Welcome to another episode of TSW. Remember the brand Alcatel? Well, the brand is now making a comeback in India, and today we have people who are making its return possible. Welcome to our podcast, and it's lovely to have you here. Before we begin, I would love to start with about your personal journey, and from how did you dabble into the smartphone space? What was the journey like?
All right. First of all, thank you so much for inviting us here. We're looking forward for a great conversation. And hello to viewers. Uh, in terms of journey, my education happened from most of the education happened from Lucknow, and then I did a management course from UC Berkeley in US, and it's been around 19 years that I had been in the industry. Uh, we started I started my career with Pantaloon India Retail Limited, and in smartphone segment or consumer tech segment, it's been around 13, 14 years, and I had been associated with brands like Samsung, uh, Realme, Lava, and Boat in various leadership capacities. So yeah, this is about my journey, professional journey to the world of technology.
Tell me more about yourself.
Yeah, so I did my education from Gurgaon, and then I moved to the UK for my undergraduate degree under business management. And now I have joined Alcatel as a new gen leader. So we are a mix of experience and new gen thinking to take this forward.
That's perfect. It's a great thing to have a mixture of experience, young perspective, as well as little bit of wisdom behind it. Uh, Before we get to the what is everything, right? Now, I'll just shoot first. Like, what are you bringing to India? I have known Alcatel in past versions, right? So, इसके वापस आने के बाद, what has changed? What are you offering, and what is there to look forward to?
Very uh, good question, actually. Uh, so, if you see history for Alcatel, and when Alcatel was here in India, from that time till today, technology has seen advancement uh, at a massive level. So, Alcatel was here in India in I think around 2014, 15. That's what Alcatel had their smartphones, and they were called smartphones. But if you compare them to today's smartphone, they were just like a feature phone, right? So तब से टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत एडवांस हो चुकी है. So it's completely new industry, a different ball game. Once we go back to 2012 to 2015, and sitting now at 2025. So at not only at the technology level but consumer awareness level, things have changed like anything. In those times, your data was expensive, your telecom plans were expensive, even devices were pretty expensive. So not everybody could afford a phone back those days. But now things have changed. Now the technology is accessible. Data rates are dirt cheap in India. Uh, आपके पास प्रीपेड से लेके पोस्ट पेड तक 199 से लेके डिफरेंट रिचार्जेस अवेलेबल हैं. Then back then you used to have 2G and Edge, and I think 3G was just starting up. We used to uh, kind of hear या तो UK में है, यूरोप में है, or maybe the trial phase is on in some of the big cities in India. But now you have 4G and 5G coverage across even smallest of the town. If you go, कम से कम 4G का coverage तो मिल ही जाएगा. So in terms of access, things have changed. In terms of consumer expectation, also things have changed because technology democratized हो गई है. So सबके पास access है. People can afford the technology, and that's why their expectation is also increased. अब वो ज़माना नहीं रहा जब लोग सोचते थे कि शायद इंडिया फॉरेन में कोई टेक्नोलॉजी है, इंडिया में उसको आने में 5 साल लगेगा। अभी इंडियन कंज्यूमर्स को जो टेक्नोलॉजी यूएस में अवेलेबल है, वो टेक्नोलॉजी नेक्स्ट दिन इंडिया में चाहिए, और वहां से आधे प्राइसेस में चाहिए. So that's how this shift has happened in the industry and in the consumer behavior. I mean, this is my point of view.
And the new lineup of Alcatel
Yeah.
which you are bringing does meet these parameters or what consumers are expecting.
Yeah, of course. I think Alcatel now will be a breath of fresh air, uh, particularly in the smartphone segment, because what was happening for last 4 5 years, we did not see much innovation in this segment. बदला क्या है? मॉडल के नाम बदले हैं, और या कैमरा का पीछे डेको बदला है, और इन द नेम ऑफ इनोवेशंस brands have put that my device is 0.1 mm thinner, or somebody has packed some 300 or 500 more mAh in the battery. Apart from that, smartphone per se largely has remained the same. Now we're going to change this thing in India. We're going to give consumers an experience of a display technology which is patented, proprietary. Only we have the access to it. And this technology will be made available to users in India at the prices uh, that have been unthinkable. So, and also not only this technology, but some of the features, like we're bringing in a stylus feature. The stylus kya hota? They used to get stylus in maybe there was one brand which used to offer stylus, and that too prices were in upwards of 100,000 rupees. So हम चाहते तो सभी लोग थे स्टाइलस रखना, बट सब लोग अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते थे. नाउ वी मेकिंग स्टाइलस मेन स्ट्रीम, और हमारा जो फोकस है एज अ ब्रांड Alcatel in India, we are just not into the spec and price race. हम यूजर के बेनिफिट के बारे में ज़्यादा सोचते हैं एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हमारा फोकस ये है कि वॉट एवर फीचर दैट वी गिव हैज़ टू कम विद टैंजिबल बेनिफिट्स टू द कंज्यूमर. सो जैसे हम स्टाइलस दे रहे हैं, मैक्सिमम आप यूसेज स्टाइलस का देखते थे, लोग शायद कुछ स्क्रिबल कर लेते थे, इसके अलावा कोई यूसेज होता नहीं था. एंड दैट यू हैड द सेम स्क्रीन. उसी स्क्रीन पर शायद आप वीडियो देख रहे होते, तो उसकी स्क्रीन पर अगर आपको टाइम मिला तो आपने स्क्रिबल कर लिया. And there was, apart from this, there was no uses of stylus. Now what we are bringing in, not only we are giving stylus, but we're giving productivity features along with stylus. Suppose I'm a professional, so how stylus will help me? uh, Maybe I'm reading an article and I need a summary of that article. I can use my stylus to mark it, and my AI features in this stylus will give me instant summary of that article. uh, I'm a design student, and I want to design something on the go. अब मेरे पास अपना sketch and drawing board नहीं है. Then I have a feature in Alcatel phones wherein I can express myself. And not only this thing, this comes with proprietary screen technology which is called next paper technology. हमारा जो next paper technology है, it's a different screen altogether. We have created a separate hardware which has 4 different layer built in, and it gives you 4 different modes. So in one mode you use your phone as normal screen. In other mode, my your screen becomes an e-reader, which gives you paper-like tactile experience and exactly the same feeling that you have on e-reader. So you don't need to carry for maybe bookworms and nerds in us. आपको चाहिए नहीं, कुछ कैरी नहीं करना है, आपके पास लाइब्रेरी है, फ़ोन है, आपने एक बटन दबाया और आपका फ़ोन ई बुक रीडर में बदल गया with same kind of experience, so that you can actually read for a very long period of time. अभी के स्मार्टफोन में you can go ahead and read the book, but the experience and the fatigue that sets in your eyes are not good for your health. Now we kind of bringing this benefit to our users. Apart from this, दो तीन और mode है that we will talk in detail later on. So yeah, coming back to the topic, Uh, we are making innovative technology accessible to consumers in India, and we are making very reliable devices.
Mhm.
So reliability has been one of the prime focus of Alcatel since inception. They were known for making reliable devices. So now we will give uh, innovative and patented technology, amazing French designs that comes with the reliability. So overall, it will be a complete package for our users in India.
So, one thing help me understand and a little elaborate also. While I understand that specs are not the everything, the hardware software optimization
Yeah.
is the most critical thing. But there will be a set of power users who would want the best of specs, and we us Indians have been spoiled by having high spec phones at relatively lower prices. Uh, might not be the same case in the last few years, couple of years, but for a very long time we had been having good high spec phones in the very mid range and budget categories. So do you think the new lineup will also appeal to those who are like kind of enthusiasts who want to push their phones, say they want to do a little bit of gaming, they want to multitask. Do you think the device will be able to handle all these things?
Yeah, of course. So I think power users is very subjective. For me, if I'm able to play my favorite game, that is the extreme that I want from my phone. And Alcatel phones are designed to have this spec, uh, which are more than enough to execute all your daily tasks, something that you expect from a phone. Now, to give you a perspective on this spec, हम बात करते हैं बैटरी की. Okay, nowadays you might be seeing some of the brands promoting 7500 mAh battery or 10,000 mAh battery or 8,000 mAh battery. Now, as a brand, we ask a question to our consumers while we were doing our market research. What is the purpose of having a battery in smartphone? So the purpose of having a battery in the smartphone is that whatever my uses are, my battery should last for minimum a day. And if I do not have access to charger, then I should be able to use my smartphone next day as well. Correct? That's the purpose of the battery. That is what we are bringing in our smartphones. So you see that one of the lineup that we have has 50 to 100 mAh of battery, but that battery will give you 2 days of use on your regular sync. And one of the mode that we have called max sync mode, if you are maybe camping, if you are traveling somewhere, or you are a nature lover wherein you do not have access to the power, it will give you an uninterrupted power up to 156, 170 hours. So that's what the need of the consumers that we are solving through our innovations and product. So we precisely on are not in the race of just publishing specs for the sake of spec, wherein I put in mAh and your phone gets hot, your phone gets heavier, your phone gets thicker, and uh, uh, it is still lasts a day. So I mean, this is the thinking from the brand side that we have, and this applies to all the specification that we have chosen for our phones, be it our screen, be it our battery, be it our processor, be it camera. Everything is designed to deliver exceptional quality and cater to all the needs that a user may have.
So I'll be a little bit direct to you.
Yeah.
Over the period of time, we have seen so many smartphone brands come and go, including international brands. I fondly remember one Chinese smartphone brand had come and it had done done massive events, massive fan promotions and everything. That brand didn't exist, right? I don't know. Similarly, there was like another brand that came and, a lot of brands have come and gone, right? But your case is slightly peculiar because you're making a comeback. So now I want to understand what are your learnings from the people who have exited the smartphone industry? And what are the precautions you have taken? And are you planning to do this like have you a long-term strategy or short-term strategy?
Yeah, uh, I think as Indians, we are very complicated. Okay, we are very demanding consumers. So for somebody who's from outside India, it is very difficult to decode the Indian market. India is not one market. Uh, it's multiple market. You go to down south, the consumer behavior, the product needs, consumer needs are very different from a consumer once you go to north. So India is amalgamation of many consumer segments. And for an international brands coming into India, it is very difficult to decode. So it's not about only smartphone. You might have seen in automobile sector the giants of the world struggling to cater to the needs of the consumer. And here is the advantage that we bring to the table. We are an Indian company, uh, backed with the people who have experience of managing brands in India and have thorough understanding of Indian consumers. So first, the advantage that we bring to the table, that we do have thorough understanding of the Indian market. We understand what Indian consumer needs. Uh, Second, it's a comeback, and that's actually a great thing for us because unlike some of the brands uh, that have tried to come back, but they had a very bad channel memory because their exits were abrupt. Alcatel had a very smooth exit, and till the time Alcatel was there in the consumer tech segment, they were known for innovation and they were known for reliability. And if you talk to maybe majority of the retailers who are into the business for last 20 odd years, they would have a very pleasant memory of using Alcatel and selling Alcatel phones. Uh, even early telecom users, I think people who are in the age bracket of 35 to 40 years, they will have very pleasant memory of Alcatel. Those devices perform like anything. And now, riding on that legacy, we are putting up the layers of technology, layers of user experience, and our understanding of Indian market to become a sustainable player here. And it's not about only for the Indian market. We are planning to make Alcatel one of the first consumer tech brands to go global, to have made in India devices and cater to other international markets. And for that very purpose, we are investing whatever it takes to create our manufacturing facilities in India. Our devices are made in India from day one to build a robust supply chain and distribution system, to create the infrastructure, to ensure that we are here for a very long haul.
So you also mentioned about French design, right?
Yeah.
Now, I can say for sure I don't understand what is French. What newness of French design will bring, right? Only thing I know is Rafale, right? So, so when you say that, when you say it's French origin, and the design is gonna be one of the USPs. So, can you elaborate a little bit more? Like, what will be the new design? Like, what is the new design?
All right. So, in terms of uh, designs, French are actually known for flair and panache. Be it their food, be it their architectural know-how, or their fashion sense. They have produced some of the iconic brands, and that's what we are also bringing in the crowded Indian market, a breadth of freshness in terms of design. So, one of our smartphone will have a design of infinity pool. So, uh, unlike other competition brands, wherein you have back cover in maybe one color with some innovative name, our back colors, back covers will have patterns which are very unique in nature. So our white will not be just plain white; it will resemble somewhere like a marble. So these are some of the elements that we are bringing in via design in terms of the aspect ratio of the device, the thickness of the device, uh, the overall touch and feel of the device. You will feel there is a difference in Alcatel devices. And less to do with design and more to do with the technology that we have packed in our devices. That's gonna make difference to the consumers for sure.
I think not only the design of the phone, the accessories that we will be shipping the phone with, the covers that we have developed specifically for the use case of the phone and the stylus. I think that will appeal to the young people of India and all
Yeah.
our users a lot because it is very uh, innovative, very new, and like the use case is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like like I kind of like really like when there is a bit of innovation and there is some sort of effort to make the phones different. And of late, I've seen a couple of brands trying to do that after a very long time. But what happens is like what everything looks good. Looks can be deceptive. So the performance and the experience and the other aspects of purchasing, like a normal consumer, he would want the phone to run, he would want to take good photos and everything and
Yeah.
have like a good storage
Yeah.
that the phone doesn't get slow, right? And then it looks good is an added bonus, right? And what if the phone looks good but doesn't really, uh, does well for the experience wise? We all have faced with, especially with different smartphone brands across, like one model two will be fine and the another model will be not fine. So, like coming to the like little bit of broader picture I'm trying to paint. The Indian smartphone market is growing. Of course, it's growing. There is a lot of expansion in the 5G coverage and everything, but it's not at the same level that it used to be. The intensity, is not the same. So, if you are a new brand entering in a market which is relatively calmer, slightly deadish, right? I don't want to say that it's completely died down because you never know. But do you think your entry will be some sort of a try to revive the interest in smartphones again, or do you think it will be like another disruption which we have seen with a couple of brands in the past? Like when they came, they kind of disrupted the uh, market with say monikers like flagship killers or the budget friendly devices, right? So this is where I want to ask you as a new entrant, right? What are your thoughts?
All right. So there's those two things. First, as we discussed earlier, it's a re-entry. So we're not new. We come with a deeper understanding and know-how of Indian market. Second, Indian market, smartphone market is not stable, very stormy, very choppy, when everything changes every quarter. Uh, Now, the coming on the overall positioning person, I think your question deals with more to do with positioning, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, Indian market, smartphone market, अभी in terms of size, दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा market है. In terms of revenue, I think second largest market. और यहाँ पर ग्रोथ के पोटेंशियल काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. सो अगर आप डेवलप मार्केट्स को देखो, वहाँ पर स्मार्टफोन का जो पेनिट्रेशन है वो 95 96 ऑड परसेंटेज में पेनिट्रेशन रेट होता है. वेल इन इंडिया वो अभी ऑलमोस्ट 70% है, 70% से कम ही है. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ द एक्सपेंशन वो 20% 25% ऑड परसेंट का अपॉर्चुनिटी इमीडिएटली है. सेकंड, जो दूसरा अपॉर्चुनिटी आता है फॉर any consumer tech is your replacement cycle. So replacement cycle, what we have seen in India, largely that we were talking that there hasn't been anything new in the market. So therefore, replacement cycles in India have increased. Now, via our range of Alcatel smartphones, we are going to offer a reason to upgrade to consumers. बिकॉज आपके पास वही था, वैसा ही फ़ोन था, पीछे से डिज़ाइन बदल जाती थी, बाकी तो सब सेम था. सो आई मीन व्हाई वुड यू चेंज your device? Now, the technology that we're gonna give to consumers, which is next paper proprietary display technology, NXT Vision proprietary display plus AI technology, and जो कैमरे के फीचर्स हम देने वाले हैं. uh, जैसे हमारी प्राइस रेंज में आपको होराइजन लॉक मिलेगा कैमरे में, आपको अल्ट्रा पिक्सल्स मिलेंगे, आपको मोशन फोकस मिलेगा, आपको एआई पिक्चर करेक्शंस मिलेंगे, आपको बहुत डिफरेंट मोड्स मिलेंगे, और ऐसे मोड्स मिलेंगे जो आजकल की नई जनरेशन, बिकॉज ऐसे मोस्टली सारे लोग ब्लॉगिंग में हैं. So they will help you in creating content in whichever way you like. So suppose आपको Instagram का शौक है and you want awesome selfies. So our 32 megapixel camera will deliver awesome selfies for you. आपको नेचर का शौक है और आप चाहते हो कि आपको बढ़िया नेचर के मैक्रो पिक्चर मिले. सो हमारा कैमरा का सेटअप एंड हार्डवेयर सेटअप कम्स विद a macro and an ultra wide lens, so आप नेचर के अच्छे फोटो खींच सकते हो. So uh, as we were saying that our company is focused on providing tangible benefits to users. तो हम जो भी फीचर ला रहे हैं इन ऑल फीचर आवर फोकस इज उसका यूजेबिलिटी क्या है कंज्यूमर्स के लिए. सो अगर हमने अल्ट्रा वाइड कैमरा पैक किया है, हमने इस वजह से पैक किया है कि आप जो फैमिली फोटो ले रहे हैं अपनी, कोई छूट ना जाए उसमें. आप नेचर का फ़ोटो लेना चाहते हैं तो, और इफ़ यू आर अ फूड ब्लॉगर, आपको अच्छे पानी पूरी या गोलगप्पे का फ़ोटो लेना है, देन यू टेक दैट फ़ोटो इन ऑल पॉसिबल ग्लोरी. एंड नॉट ओनली दिस, विद द डिस्प्ले दैट वी हैव, आप उसको देखिए भी वाइब्रेंट कलर में, सुपीरियर स्क्रीन में. एंड the other tangible benefit that our display is offering, because as of now, even to your kids, आप उनको स्क्रीन का एक्सपोजर रोक नहीं सकते बिकॉज उनका लर्निंग हैम्पर हो जाएगा. तो यू हैव टू गिव देम सम काइंड ऑफ स्क्रीन फॉर देम टू कंज्यूम कंटेंट. अब पेरेंट्स के पास कोई चॉइस तो है नहीं. नाउ विद दिस टेक्नोलॉजी यू हैव अ चॉइस. This technology, our next paper technology, coupled with next NXT Vision, which is a patented hardware technology, आप आपको आई सेफ डिस्प्ले देती है. और इसके हमारे पास SGS एंड TUV सर्टिफिकेशंस भी हैं जो कि सर्टिफाइड है कि आई सेफ है. तो ये क्या करता है, हार्डवेयर और सॉफ्टवेयर के अमलगमेशन से आइडेंटिफाई कर लेता है आप कौन से इन्वायरमेंट में हो, आप क्या कर रहे हो, और उसी हिसाब से आपका डिस्प्ले, आपका लाइट, आपका कलर एडजस्ट कर लेता है. सो आप बुक पढ़ रहे हो, आप घंटों पढ़ो, आपको कोई आई स्ट्रेन नहीं होगा. आप वीडियोस देख रहे हो, मे बी आप लो लाइट में देख रहे हो, तो वो अडेप्ट कर लेगा, आपकी आंखों को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. And other usability that we have, our screen, you go to sunlight and you will have a lot of reflection no matter what kind of display you are using. आप कितना भी महंगा डिस्प्ले यूज़ कर रहे हो, कितना भी सस्ता डिस्प्ले यूज़ कर रहे हो, सनलाइट में जाओगे आपको दिखेगा नहीं फॉर वेरी श्योर, राइट. आवर फोन कम्स विथ स्पेशल लेयर जहाँ पर आपको कोई रिफ्लेक्शन आएगा ही नहीं, कोई ग्लेयर नहीं आएगा on this screen, and you'll have perfect visibility from all the angles. So these are kind of usability factors that uh, we have built in our smartphone. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है पर्सनली कि चूंकि हम नई टेक्नोलॉजी, नया डिज़ाइन लेकर के आ रहे हैं, तो हम कस्टमर्स को एक रीज़न देंगे टू अपग्रेड फॉर पीपल हु आर ऑलरेडी यूजिंग स्मार्टफोन. एंड वी विल आल्सो गिव रीजंस टू द एंथुसियास्ट जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सप्लोर करना चाहते हैं. सेगमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज यंग कंट्री, राइट, एंड डिजिटल लिटरेसी बहुत अच्छी है हमारे कंट्री में. सो आई थिंक वो सारे लोग हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करना चाहेंगे. हम चाहते हैं वो आएँ, हमारा फ़ोन यूज़ करें, टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करें, and we assure them that they will have a device which is built with premium components, Indian manufacturing facility following world-class standards, and they will have an awesome user experience that as a brand we can assure them.
I also want your comments on 5G, right? Uh, what has happened that 5G, the number of 5G devices have grown, but I want to understand like In your personal opinion, it cannot be like not necessarily the company line, but in your personal opinion also. What do you think about 5G? Has it changed the smartphone experience drastically, or what is your understanding? Has it improved, say, quality of calls or coverage? Do you see any difference in your like day-to-day usage, or has the improvement been slightly incremental?
Um, Actually, use case अगर हम देखें, if I talk about somebody who has observed the industry uh, from 2G to 5G, uh, use cases जो 5G के original हैं, I don't think more than 20% people are actually using. Why, on what basis 5G was built for? 5G once was envisaged to have a real-time connectivity. Maybe for professionals, आप ऑनलाइन मीटिंग्स, ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंटेशंस, ऑनलाइन वीडियो एंड ऑनलाइन कोलैबोरेशंस कर सकते हो. For in the medical fields, a surgeon can actually operate real time sitting somewhere else via robotic surgery using 5G. Maybe a student can have the access to real time 3D animation, or the students across the continents can collaborate on a project. I think
Hmm.
ये वाले the uses थे जिसके around 5G was built in. And I do not think more than 20% users are using it. हमारे कंट्री के सिनारियो में जो लोग यूज कर रहे हैं मोस्टली फॉर consuming social media content, and for that very purpose I think even 4G was good enough. So not 4K, but I think up to 740p or 1080p तक तो आपको 4G रियल टाइम एक्सेस दे ही देता है. सो आपका डेटा कंजम्पशन का जो रिक्वायरमेंट है दैट gets fulfilled from 4G. But of course, I think हम 6G की तरफ जा रहे हैं. There will always be people, those would be using technology what the technology was built for,
Hmm.
and then there will always be new use cases emerging. So वो होता रहेगा टेक्नोलॉजी में.
So, that's great. So the next thing which I want to understand that, as you said yourself as well, that India has different use cases and
Yeah.
different way of using. So help me understand what would be the Alcatel's target audience. Like, is it aimed at say working professionals, or is it for someone who wants to use phones as like their accessories? Uh, I don't know if I think they were called lifestyle
Lifestyle.
focused,
Yeah. Yeah.
or is it aimed at like power hungry people who want to do gaming but they don't want to spend much, or do you have like everything like a mixed cocktail of everything?
Now काफी complicated question है. I'll take some time to answer that. So here, Alcatel की जब हम बात कर रहे हैं, we're not only talking about one device, we're talking about three devices now. So our first lineup consists of three devices, and that to different variants altogether. So all of our devices will cater to different user segment. We want people who want to experience 5G and experience technology at a prices which are accessible to us, be able to use this. While हमारा जो टॉप ऑफ द लाइन फ़ोन है विच इज़ V3 Ultra 5G, जो स्टाइलस के साथ में आता है, वो एम्पावर करेगा टेक एंथुजियास्ट को and students को और professionals को because of the productivity features and the stylus built into that. So we will actually want to cover a wider segment of people, even to start with. We do not want to restrict ourselves to one particular segment only, because our understanding of India market says कि India में भी the movement across consumer segment is very frequent. सो अगर आप मोबाइल फ़ोन की बात करते हैं, एक अंडर 10 के सेगमेंट होता है, एक 15 के, 20 के, 25 के एंड 30 के, एंड एनीथिंग अबव 30 के उसको प्रीमियम सेगमेंट में काउंट करते हैं. अब क्या हो गया, इंडिया में फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी काफ़ी हो गई है, एंड एक्सेस ऑफ क्रेडिट इज़ प्रीटी नॉर्मल. आप किसी भी दुकान पर जाओगे, आपको हर क्रेडिट और हर डेबिट कार्ड पर ईएमआई मिल जाती है. Online platform, but they are easily available. And even if you want to get a credit card, now the banking system has gone digital in India. आप 4 क्लिक करो, एक ऐप डाउनलोड करो, आपके पास वर्चुअल क्रेडिट कार्ड आ जाता है. सो द अफोर्डेबिलिटी फैक्टर इज बिल्ट इन. अभी फॉर अ ब्रांड टू कैटेगराइज अ कंज्यूमर, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि ये मेरा सब 15K का कस्टमर है, ये 20K में नहीं जाएगा. दैट डजंट हैपन नाउ because if you're offering suppose 12 months or 24 month or 12 month no cost EMI, and the price difference is 6,000 rupees, that works out to be 500 rupees every month, which is very normal for a person to afford. So we don't want to compartmentalize Alcatel to start with. We want our devices to be made available to everyone, and uh, those devices they will not only be the just on smartphone, but they will definitely bring in lifestyle element and usability element into the picture.
So, what happens is like, as you said, like India is diverse now, kind of understood the target audience. But also, what happens is like a lot of people would want a little bit of, so while a lot of people like a very stock Androidish experience, they don't want any kind of customization. But also some people prefer like, okay, there are some preloaded apps or maybe some sort of personalization, say more vernacular native, say navigation through in your vernacular languages. So I want to understand like what are the personalizations aimed at Indian audience in the new Alcatel lineup?
Yeah, I think OS uh, की अगर हम बात करें, so the most preferred OS that you see in India are some OS which are intuitive, which offers a degree of personalization, and which are not intrusive to the consumers. तो हमारी भी यही philosophy है. First of all, in terms of preloaded apps, we won't be intrusive at all.
Yeah.
We will not compromise our user experience for revenue stream. That's not the focus. और हमने अपना UI बनाया है बहुत ही ज़्यादा intuitive, which is fluid uh, and easy to use, wherein the consumers can have access to all the controls that they wish, uh, maybe maximum in 2 touch. So yes, it is not the stock Android. I think users को stock Android उतना पसंद भी नहीं आता है. They want something extra built into it, and what that is exactly we built in. We did not overcomplicate it. We made it very crisp, clear, intuitive, and customizable for our users. So it will be fun now to kind of experience and use our UI, which is very smooth.
Building, sorry, building on that, I think what I've experienced is that your hardware and your software, they have to be aligned very well for a good user experience. And since we have the stylus capability, so we had to do a lot of work as well on the OS front to make sure all the apps, all the OS, all the system is supported by stylus. So we are not only here building the hardware. As Atul explained,
Yeah.
our devices are made in India, but we are also focusing a lot on R&D so that we can build a software in-house, and that is completely catered to the Indian audience as well.
To follow up that, like, what happens is, especially what I feel is that, especially in the lowest spectrum of, and they don't get the right kind of smartphones. What say someone has, I'm not sure, like, so say for instance, the customer for 6,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees for a very long time. Not that there haven't been attempts to reach to that audience, but there is no good quality phone like for that segment. It becomes for them either it's 10 plus thousand or 11,000, or they can of course buy it on easy MI with some sort of incentives and everything. But my like one of the things I've always wanted to understand, why a lot of feature phone users are not being able to, say at the same price, they're not able to get a good quality smartphone. Of course, I'm not expecting a glass panel and all these things at a very dirt cheap price, but still the entry level, the ultra affordable range. What do you think? What is your personal thought about it? And do you think Alcatel will be interested in reaching out to those customers?
Ultra affordable. Uh, I mean, you're talking about something below 7,000 rupees, right?
Correct, correct.
If I understand it
Yeah, yeah.
correctly. So मेरे ख्याल से पिछले 1.5 2 सालों में इंडियन मार्केट ने एक शिफ्ट देखा हुआ है. Now I think you have 4G handsets available from at least 4 5 brands that I know. They operate under 7 7.5 K, and they had. I mean, those 4G devices are available, which are good enough for day-to-day uses. Uh, Even now, you see 5G devices are available under 10K.
Mm.
But feature phone uses, actually, it's a different case altogether. So the consumer behavior is a feature phone ka, uh, it is very different to often smartphone users. वहाँ पर जो users की need है, uh, first of all, there is still a population, a large chunk of population who are not comfortable with the overall UI of smartphones. I mean, the touch and menu and control and everything, it's kind of pretty complicated for them. So they want a device which is very simple, जिसमें 5 बटन दबाने हैं, कॉल करनी है, या एक गेम खेलना है, या or they want to listen to music while they're working in their farms. Uh, or they want a phone which has 3 4 days of battery, जो उनको 2 कॉल करनी होती है, बाकी कुछ करना नहीं होता है. So it has a very different use case. Uh, I believe in terms of affordable smartphone, इंडिया में 4G फोन स्मार्टफोन अवेलेबल हैं इन all possible ranges, because उसके नीचे 4G स्मार्टफोन लाना, I don't think it is commercially feasible for any brand person sitting here now, because prices in India are, if you compare with any country of the world, they are the lowest. Even अफ्रीका में हमारे कुछ ब्रांड्स हैं जो इंडिया के ब्रांड जो अफ्रीका में बेचते हैं, इवन अफ्रीका में प्राइसेस इंडिया से ज़्यादा हैं. So in terms of a smartphone, India is the cheapest market. That, let me tell you that. Uh, as far as the question of Alcatel coming in India in that ultra affordable segment, I believe we will study the market, and if you feel like there is a need, then why not? But as of now, the indicators don't say that ultra affordable market will be big enough for any brand to make an entry into this segment, because जो ASP है इंडिया का एवरेज सेलिंग प्राइस हैज़ बीन ग्रोइंग by 12 to 15% every year. और अगर आप ग्रोथ की बात करते हो तो इंडिया में जो फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग सेगमेंट है, विच इज़ प्रीमियम सेगमेंट ओनली. सो स्मार्टफोन over 30,000 rupees have seen the maximum growth. Or there was a time when sub 10K segment used to be the biggest one. It's not anymore.
So, so pricing, in India, price is a very sensitive thing. Everybody wants best, but want to pay the least amount of money, right? And Alcatel is coming at a time when clearly there is a bit of market needs some kind of a nudge, if I have to say it, and clearly there is room for new players,
Yeah.
right? And so I want to understand, like, how do you plan to, keep the prices affordable, because affordability is one of the things you're pointing out. So how do you plan to keep it affordable? And also, I want to point out the context of the currency indexation, the geopolitical situations. You have seen how the input costs have gone up.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to maintain that?
एक्चुअली इंडियन कंज्यूमर्स की अगर हम बात करें तो इंडियन कंज्यूमर्स प्राइस सेंसिटिव नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं. आई मीन, and I'll justify why I say this. Indian consumers value conscious. Uh, so as as Indians, हमारा psyche has been towards saving and towards exploring value in everything. Even people who have a lot of money, lot of disposable money, they will also go to the market and maybe find the best value for their money. It is intrinsic nature of Indians to find the value for money in whatever geography we live in. So हमारा focus ये है as Alcatel brand to provide that value. So value is a mixture of it's a fine balance of the price which is being paid and the benefits which is being offered for that price. And we believe जिस प्राइस सेगमेंट पे हमने अपने तीनों V3 सीरीज लॉन्च करे हैं वो परफेक्टली केटर करते हैं एंड परफेक्टली बैलेंस करते हैं वैल्यू को. सो मेरा ऐसा पर्सनली मानना है दैट वी विल सी अ ग्रेट एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी for Alcatel devices across consumer segments.
I think there is one more aspect to it. Um, we are purely speaking about the pricing and our costing. What we have done is that from day one, we are made in India, and we are putting a lot of efforts into localizing our components. And we achieve several things by doing this at the same time. First is we cater to the Indian economy because we are selling the smartphones to our Indian users. We have to do something back for the economy as well. So not only we are creating jobs here, we are bringing new R&D facilities. And since we are focusing on more and more domestic value addition going forward, we will be keeping our costs in line with the Indian standards as well.
Okay, now this is where I want to understand, like, how are you gonna sell the phone? Like now, how what I want to ask is basically, what is the strategy channel you like? Is it online? Is it offline? A mixture of both of them? Because we have seen in the longer term now, like if I see we have been around for a while, online sales have been there, like they have been growing, but of late you have seen the brands that have survived had a relatively good, strong offline presence, the very traditional, conventional distribution system. So, what is your go-to strategy for distributing and selling the phone?
We, Alcatel, we are a very innovative company, and we have decided to be a digital first brand. Hence, we have tied up with Flipkart as a strategic partner to cater to all over India. So, what we had noticed was due to the prevailing e commerce spread in India, reaching to the most number of users through one channel, which is e commerce, is the best way to start. And we will be able to cater to several thousands of PIN codes across all over India instantly. Uh, Moreover, I would like to add on this is we will be catering to consumers on the quick commerce apps as well, such as the FK Minutes. I think there has been a lot of uh, rise in convenience that users are expecting right now, and that has been an industry level shift per se. So being available on Flipkart Minutes is a huge advantage for us because due to the quick commerce, our uh, the users, I think, like if even if I'm talking about myself, I do not like waiting a lot now. So if I can order a phone and get it delivered within 10 minutes, so that is a really good accessibility feature that we can provide all over India. Uh, Talking about the offline network, as you said as well, um, I think that is also what we are looking forward to. We want to set up a distribution network with select partners going forward.
So, tell me, like, little bit about quick commerce. You are you're slightly younger, and you can tell you are among the first adopters of quick commerce. Why will you need a phone in 10 minutes? Why do you need it?
See, what has happened is I'm speaking purely for the young generation. Our attention span has reduced quite significantly. Talking about, like, if I compare it with my parents, if I compare it with the slightly older generation as well. Because what has happened is we want everything very instantly. Our attention span, if I compare about social media as well, I think the attention span has reduced to 7 seconds now. So if I do not like anything in 7 seconds, I will scroll. So to cater to those young and upcoming professionals, that new generation, hence we have decided we will be available on quick commerce because that is becoming a need now. Users want everything very quickly.
So, do you see a situation where a lot of categories where quick commerce will overtake quick e-commerce, conventional e-commerce?
It is a very good possibility, to be honest, because now I'm seeing all the big consumer electronics per se as well. Your TVs, fridge, ACs, they are also available on quick commerce. And thinking about the possibility of it, there's a very good chance people will more and more shift to quick commerce just because of the accessibility and the reliability of it.
So eventually, actually, in terms of the commerce per se, things are moving towards omni-channel now. So, what will happen in future, and which you have already started seeing, you will have offline stores for sure. You will have the digital stores for sure, and you would be connected to both the medium. So, suppose you are a person who are more into the experiencing the things. You want to experience something. Uh, you can go ahead, you can experience this store in a physical store, and physical store on behalf of you can place an order if you like it, and by the time you reach home, the quick commerce guy will deliver that product
Yeah.
to your home. And what I foresee, the integration will happen across offline and online, and the line that we have uh, between both the channels will be blurred to a significant extent for sure.
Now, any conversation with any consumer electronic brand or any electronic brand or any brand is about local manufacturing. You have said that you are manufacturing in India. So help me understand like with whom you have tied up and what is the like where can you little bit more details about that tie-up?
Yeah. So once we started Alcatel in India, so when we were doing our market research also, we found out reliability and the end user customer experience is a very special, very important thing we have to consider from day one. Hence, we decided we will be partnering up with Dixon. They are known for their quality standard and reliability. And we have tied up with Dixon for a made in India from day one that I've already explained. And we have set up our own manufacturing lines uh, so that we can cater to all the demand. And these lines are expandable once we require.
Okay, so for like as throughout our conversations, we have moved on from one aspect to another. So every smartphone brand, one of the things I've always this is my personal opinion, where an average product but great after sales support, right? Is a thing where I'll put my money on. And we have seen like so I want to understand what is the after sales support promise. If there is some sort of issue with the phone or display हो या sound का हो या फिर वो तो and pan India like because you would say you will be selling everywhere right at the same time. So say अगर small town में है या फिर कहीं बड़े शहर में है, how at the same time you are gonna provide after sales support?
See, taking a digital first approach, we know that we will be selling all over India, and hence from day one we have to have a very robust uh, service network on a pan India level because we will be catering to customers that are all over India. So we cannot outlie any single customer. Hence, we have partnered up with Jeeves by Flipkart, and they have over 300 service centers which will be dedicated to Alcatel smartphones. That includes over 1,000 experienced trained technicians as well. So what we believe is that there is always a human element in service, and that human element is what we have focused quite significantly on. We have given a lot of training, and we have done our whole homework on this so that our end user experience can be exceptional. We do not want to compromise on it that all.
Got it.
Yeah.
And
But I can, sorry,
sorry, please.
I can assure you the reliability factor that is built in our devices. So device will last for a pretty long period of time without needing you visiting our service center. That I can assure you.
And one thing I forgot to ask in an earlier part of conversation was when we were talking about specifications and features. One of the things which a lot of Android users complain about not getting enough and software updates.
Yeah.
So can you help me understand and an audience also like what kind of software updates and support you are gonna provide the iterations of Android?
Okay, I think बहुत important है आजकल के users के लिए because I told you earlier that Indian users want everything latest, everything world class, and building on that philosophy, our smartphones, uh, we will give 3 years of major Android upgrades and 4 years of security updates so that your device keeps running smoothly and is on the latest OS. And also, I think जो OS का journey है, it is uh, a combination of both hardware and software. So in most of the cases क्या होता है? In most of the devices you say that even people promise, but the device is not ready to kind of receive those OS. So there are devices Android 15 अभी चल रहा है, but there are devices which are still running on Android 12 because the Android 15 has evolved so much from Android 12. So in future, this will also be a combination of hardware and software that we believe. Sitting today, I don't know what the demands of Android 20 will be in future, but we have built our devices to be future ready, and we will make sure that our devices have latest updates, latest upgrades, and they offer premium user experience from day one to the end of life.
So how ambitious you are? Like, what are the market share you're looking at it, like, to capture in the next 3 to 5 years? Or what is the roadmap, short term and long term?
All right. So as far as ambition goes, I told you that we want to become an enterprise from India, which caters to international markets. So this is the ambition number one we have. And second, we would also be one of the first organizations uh, to have a consumer tech ecosystem in India. So we're just starting with smartphone. We will very soon venture into some other related consumer tech category. We will have a full house of products, and in next 3 years, we want to be in top three players in the smartphone domain for sure. And all our product line strategy, our manufacturing plans are actually designed and in line with that goal.
You mentioned about like ecosystem of devices, and every smartphone has more or less of its own set of accessories and other things. So, what are the first set of devices, and what is the timeline if you can share?
Uh, I think इस पे अभी हम काम कर रहे हैं. Uh, I do not have the timelines as of now to tell to you,
But
and
that's on the cards, right?
but it is on cards, and because we believe smartphone uh, या consumer tech में experience बहुत matter करता है. And we also believe that as of now, consumers are digital natives. So, be it their smartwatches, be it their smart audio accessories, or be it their televisions or tablets, they want something which is connected. So, आपका एक device में login हो and maybe you keep switching across those devices with same kind of user experience, easy connectivity, and all those things. So, in future, we wish to kind of achieve that goal.
Thank you so much for having this detailed conversation. Before I let them go, I have a few हल्का फुल्का सवाल है. बहुत ही easy, कुछ कुछ ऐसा इसके अंदर है नहीं है, बिल्कुल जो दिल में आए आप बात कर सकते हो. और सिंपल सी चीजें हैं, ठीक है। और आप दोनों में से जिसको भी बात करें, मुझे एक चीज जानना है, आपके फोन्स में क्या चार्जर और हेडसेट दोनों आते हैं?
चार्जर और हेडसेट हमारे फोन्स बिल्कुल चार्जर के साथ आएंगे, फास्ट चार्जर के साथ में आएंगे। ना केवल चार्जर के साथ में आएंगे बल्कि आपको V3 Ultra में C2C चार्जर और C2C केबल के साथ आएंगे, एंड वो भी इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड का चार्जर और केबल। प्लस आपको V3 Ultra में एक ऐसा स्टाइलिश केस आएगा जिसमें एक आप उसको फैशन एक्सेसरीज की तरह यूज कर सकते हैं, एंड वे गिविंग दिस बंडल फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। हेडसेट का जैक है हमारे पास, बट इट्स बहुत सारे लोग आजकल TWS यूज करते हैं, कुछ लोग हेडसेट यूज करते हैं, तो हम हेडसेट बंडल नहीं दे रहे हैं, बिकॉज आई थिंक दे आर अवेलेबल फ्रीली ऑल अक्रॉस। सो बाकी सारी चीजें इन द बॉक्स है।
मुझे दूसरी चीज जाननी है कि फोन के बॉक्स में मैनुअल क्या करता है, मैनुअल क्यों होता है?
अच्छा, मैनुअल क्यों होता है?
हाँ, फोन के बॉक्स में मैनुअल क्यों होता है?
ओके, सो दो रीजन से होता है। एक तो एक स्टेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, तो लीगली यू आर बाउंड टू गिव दोज इंफॉर्मेशन, उस वजह से होता है। दूसरा एज कंज्यूमर्स क्या होता है, जब आप पहले हम 4P की बात करते थे, तो उसके बाद हम 7P पे आए, तो 7P में एक फिजिकल एक्सपीरियंस नाम की भी चीज़ होती थी, फिजिकल एविडेंस। तो इफ यू बाय समथिंग, आपके पास एक फिजिकल एक्सपीरियंस होता ना, सो योर डिलाइट फैक्टर गेट्स इंक्रीज। आई थिंक अगर मैं प्योरली मार्केटिंग पर्सपेक्टिव से सोचूं तो इस वजह से होता है। फर्स्ट बिकॉज यू हैव टू यू हैव एन ऑब्लिगेशन, सर्टेन लीगल ऑब्लिगेशंस टू फुलफिल, इस वजह से।
I did not know that. That's true. Okay, what is your like average screen time? How much you time spend your phone?
आई थिंक अंश से पहले पूछना पड़ेगा।
Mine would be almost 8 to 9 hours every day.
Every day.
Yeah,
The weekly average is 7 to 8 hours, right?
it would be more than that if I include laptop and
नहीं
phone
नहीं,
together.
लैपटॉप नहीं, मोबाइल फोन।
Mobile phone would be 3 to 4 hours.
तो ठीक है, फिर तो इस because harder to
I think it will be similar for me as well, because as business leader, I need to be connected most of the time, answering emails or checking my messages, and or there's a lot of other things that we do.
Do you hear like sometimes phantom alerts, like आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि फोन वाइब्रेट हो रहा है and then you see कि यार कुछ भी नहीं है यार, या फिर ऐसा लग रहा है फोन बज रहा है? Have you like do you experience such things?
Yeah, I think everybody does. I have also had my share of anxiety in terms of smartphone. So I think सबकी journey में ये
Yeah,
होता ही
yeah,
है।
yeah. It's a very common thing to
Yeah, yeah.
have.
You guys also do the check the phone first thing in the morning?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
biggest anxiety that I have in terms of smartphones, कि मेरा अलार्म नहीं बजाए शायद, या नहीं बजेगा।
So you check कि अलार्म बजा है कि नहीं
Yeah,
बजा है?
so that's the, I think funny thing, because the very purpose of having alarm on the smartphone कि आपको पहले ना जागना पड़े, आप टाइम से जाग जाओ, but I have that anxiety. I wake up a little early and I check कि मेरा I have this intricate fear built in कि मेरा शायद स्मार्टफोन बजेगा नहीं, मैं ऑफिस के लिए लेट जाऊंगा।
I don't think it's about fear as well. Like I have a tendency of waking up before my alarm. Like at least 2 to 5 minutes before my alarm, I will wake up automatically, and then I'll just turn it off.
Have you ever spent money on setting up a caller tune? कि if someone calls you and then you hear a song.
I think I sold caller tunes to consumers, but I never consumed it myself, to be very honest.
So I had like one song, and it was for the longest time in my life. Everybody got familiarized with that song, and whenever they used to call, so I spent like 30 rupees. I don't know what was the charges.
Yeah, 30 rupees ही होते थे।
हर महीने का वो कॉलर ट्यून लगाने का, तो आपने कभी नहीं लगाया?
No, I've never.
You know what is caller tune?
I know what a caller tune is, but I've never done it.
अच्छा, last thing, if you had to name your phone, if you give a name to your smartphone, what would be you will give it and why?
आई थिंक हमने स्मार्टफोन्स के अपने नाम बहुत सोच समझ के रखे हैं। uh,
अपना पेट नेम रखना होगा अपने स्मार्टफोन का।
अपने स्मार्टफोन का पेट
क्यों?
नेम रखना हो।
क्यों?
ओह माय गुडनेस, आई मीन, हम्म क्या रख सकते हैं? I'm not very sure. I'm not good with the creative stuff. Yeah, how about you?
Uh, to be honest, even I'm not sure like what we can call it.
Yeah, I think if I were to name my smartphone, I'll name my smartphone which relates to a dog because dogs are something that I kind of love, and I'm kind of very fond of dogs. So I would name my phone which resembles a dog or something. So yeah.
I think I have an answer now. I would call it my lifeline because without my phone, like I cannot go a day without my
Yeah.
phone. Like I would be completely lost.
If I had to keep a name, like, as we speak, like, I would call it portal because it's an escape from wherever you are.
Yeah, it
Your mind,
transforms you.
if someone has messaged me, now instantly my mind has, escaped to that another set of reality. Or maybe if I'm watching reels, or like my mind instantly, travels. On that note, thank you so much for speaking with us, and it was great and it was pretty insightful. All the best for your launch, and I'm hoping that your team does very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was pleasure talking to you, and I would request viewers to go to Flipkart, check our Alcatel V3 series, and experience our phone. As a brand, we can assure you that you will have premium user experience, a great hardware, and a fantastic after-sale service for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much
Thank
for
you so
having
much for your
us
time.
today. Thank you.